All right, we're the Tri-State Sports Guys. Top of the Cable Ready Studios here in Norwalk. Top 10 list came off of our message board. Steve Seide.
Steve!
Former O'Neill's softball
Yeah, he was.
teammate of mine came up with, we got a couple good suggestions, but Steve had said, let's get 10 reasons to be excited for the NBA season this year. And so it could be storylines, it could be players, it could be really anything.
Right.
So as one of his last contributions to the show, O did send in his top 10 list, as part of his parting thing. He went 1 through 10. I guess I got to read the other direction. I don't know which direction it's going in. But number 10 from O, former host of the Tri-State Sports Guys. End of the line for Tim Duncan / Celtics, etc. One last gasp. I guess it's kind of similar. I had for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lakers are in the same ballpark as them because they're
Right.
on the talks to get Dwight Howard, which is later on my list. But I think when you look at the Spurs, you always think they're getting old, but the Spurs just continue to win games.
Every
It's
year.
just it's
year.
it's a system, whatever. But I'm not willing to say either team. The Celtics are. I think the Celtics got one more run in them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll definitely be in the playoffs this year, but
Yeah.
that clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking. I don't think they got a championship left in them. Number 9, and I had this one too. Ricky Rubio. He was drafted a couple years ago. All this hype. This young guy. He played well in some international games, and then he went and played over in Europe, and now he's finally playing with the Timberwolves this year. He didn't put up. I'm just interested. I don't know if he'll be good. I'm not a great judge of it. He looks good. He looks flashy. He looks a little bit like White Chocolate, the old Jason Williams. He's got a lot of moves. Makes a lot of plays like that. But I don't see he doesn't shoot very well.
Right.
He's little. He's skinny. He's a real little guy, skinny wise. I don't know how he's going to be able to play defense in the physical NBA. I could see him being a bust. I don't know what your sense of it is. I'm only by the little glimpses I've seen of him. But I think if you go over to Europe and you're not really dominating, although Brandon Jennings didn't really dominate.
Right.
I'm very curious. That to me, as far as the storyline I'm watching him.
I think he's not going to be great, but I think he'll bring people just for what you said because he is flashy.
Yeah.
He might have He might have 6, 7, 8 turnovers, but he's going to have 2 assists a game.
SportsCenter's going to love him.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
he'll do some moves.
Jason Williams. He's going to be just like
He's
Jason
going to be like Jason Williams. All right. Now hit number 8 was he misses Charles Barkley and his random statements, jokes, a little bit. He says so. He misses that, so he's excited to get back to
Believe it
Charles.
or not, I had Charles Barkley as my number 10.
See, Charles Barkley. You got to love the guy.
I swear to God, I don't love the NBA that much, so I was kind of grasping for straws. But I had Charles Barkley rants as number 10.
It is funny. He is a funny dude.
Yeah.
And he's a smart guy. He says things, and sometimes he comes across as an oafy joke. Joe was making a joke of himself, but he breaks down basketball as really good as anybody. He just does it in this kind of big jolly manner. Number 7, he's got basketball on Christmas. Lugs watching. I agree with that. It's something that's always on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit down. It's not like football on Thanksgiving where I'm watching the games.
Right.
But I am watching, especially the later games. They have the triple header on this year like they normally have. So it is going to be exciting. I didn't have it on my list because I didn't put it as something that I'm excited for or like a storyline. But I do like Christmas basketball. You?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's nothing else on, so it's okay.
Right. It's not. That's not like something that's to me. It's completely separate from like I said, football and
Right.
Thanksgiving where everybody
Right.
sits around and watches it. I don't really sit down and watch it, but it's on in the background.
I really don't think, to tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever watched a basketball game on Christmas.
This year we got Knicks Celtics. I know that game.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. But like we said,
that's opening day this year, right?
It's opening day,
Yeah.
which is a good idea.
Right.
One thing that the NBA does well is they market themselves,
Right.
and that's a smart thing.
Right.
They're going to have that. Number 6, and I like this one. I didn't have this one. Prokhorov, is he the next Mark Cuban?
Oh.
Now, I'm a big. Have you heard the clip of when he went on first time he went on Mike Francesa's show?
No.
So Prokhorov's got
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
thick Russian accent. He goes on Mike Francesa's show. It's like a big land. It's his first interview in America. You got to YouTube this. And they go, Mike Francesa here on the fan. I'm here with Prokhorov here, new owner of the Nets. And he goes, "Where is the mad dog?" Just to screw with him, just to prod at him. And he goes, "Oh yeah, you're funny. It's so awesome. Where is the mad dog?" Somebody must have
So
told
he hasn't
him.
been on since.
He probably never been on since. So I love the dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get into the Nets a little later, so I don't want to break this down because that's one of my because I'm a big Net fan. So for me personally, I'm excited about it. But I gotta like what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as if you're a Nets fan,
He's bringing excitement to New Jersey Nets basketball.
Right. Exactly,
all you can ask
and he's
for.
the reason why they've
all
gone
you can ask
to
for.
Brooklyn. Number 5, and I had this on my list: Chris Paul and Dwight Howard. Where will they wind up? Are they going to get traded in the middle of the season? Now the new CBA is a little crazy. Where if they play out the rest of this season, right? Chris Paul plays out the rest of the season. The Hornets can offer him 5 years, $100 million maximum. The most any other team can offer is 4 years, $75 million.
Right.
So you're literally looking at another $25 million you're going to lose by not re-signing. So there is this big push to trade. Now I don't care what you say, $25 million is a lot of money.
Right, but I think if you take a guy like Chris Paul, he would play that 4 years, and then when that contract's up, he'll just sign another 4 years for $20 million. Or something.
Right.
So I think it's
100%. You think that's the case, but with injuries and all that, would you?
Right.
You're talking about 25. I agree with you. If you're as good as Chris Paul, you got to believe.
Are contracts guaranteed in the NBA?
The contracts are guaranteed in the NBA, yeah. But you're going to look at that 50th, $25 million. God forbid something happens to you, or whatever. We didn't say you're Eddie Curry or one of these guys.
Yeah.
He just hits a wall or whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to take that risk and bet on yourself and say, I want to go? Now, look, it's more money than you're ever going to be able to spend.
Right.
Although these athletes tend to go bankrupt all the time anyway, so who knows? But it's going to be interesting. Dwight Howard, I mean, I heard Stephen A. Smith today say that he has told everyone in the organization he is not going to play with the Magic, but he's not doing it publicly out of respect for the owner, saying, I want you to, or the general manager or whatever, so you can trade me, because if he says that publicly, then they're like, well, we're not giving you anything because I can just sign him at the end of the year.
Right.
So there's a good chance of him going. I could see him as a good fit in LA. I can see Chris Paul coming to New York. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah.
So
from everything that I read, and from what I read is mostly Dan Corden's stuff about NBA. No, everything that I'm hearing is Chris Paul wants to play in New York. Plain and simple.
Yep.
He's coming here, from what you hear. And if he came here, that
it's
would
just a question of whether it comes via trade,
right,
or at the end of the season.
Absolutely.
To me, if they're able to trade for him in the middle of the season, because the other reason, with the way the cap works, they don't have room under the cap right now anyway. They'd have to get rid of somebody. So it would be Chauncey Billups.
Right.
They can either get rid of him at the end of the season and sign him, or trade Chauncey Billups because it's an expiring contract and somebody else. So to the Knicks, I would try to trade for him now, because unless you have to give up one of your major pieces.
Right.
But to get him, I would definitely get him. I mean, the guy's a huge talent. Would you rather have him as a Knick or Dwight Howard? I think Chris Paul fits better with the Knicks, but I heard a lot of people saying today Dwight Howard would be better.
Dwight Howard with Chauncey Billups, or still no Chauncey Billups?
Well, I don't think there's a possibility you can have him.
Okay.
So
I think Dwight Howard is the most dominant big man in the game.
I agree with you. And then you got him, Amari.
All you need is somebody to dribble the ball down, just throw it to him. That's all you need.
Yeah, him, Amari.
Yeah.
Melo. I mean, you could let Melo run the point, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like how.
Yep.
And it'd be interesting. I think Chris Paul is going to be the one there. I think you're going to see Dwight Howard out in LA. I think he wants to go out in LA anyway, which will be good for LA. Number 4, he's got the Knicks. I had the Knicks, same exact thing. Full year of Amari and Carmelo. Will they play well enough to lure Darren Williams, Chris Paul? I don't think that's going to lure. I don't think how they play is going to lure, because they both want to come to New York.
Right.
I think what's going to keep Darren Williams with the Nets is the fact that I'm talking about this extra money.
Yeah.
But I think that this is even a bigger storyline than number 4. I think I had him number 2.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, if you're in the New York area, and I'm not a Knicks fan at all, I actually dislike the Knicks, but they're going to be exciting to watch, because they were exciting to watch last year, and the excuses the whole time was, well, wait till they have a full year together. Wait till they have a full year together. Now the excuses are probably going to be, well, it was a shortened season, and it's shortened this, and this, and that. You can't have excuses. I mean, it's basketball at the end of the day. I mean, as a Knicks fan, how excited are you about this year, regardless of whether they make another trade?
Right.
You got to be happy with what they got right now.
Very happy.
You know?
I think they can compete in the East with the guys they have right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Are you worried about Amari's health?
Mm-hmm.
He's a big guy like that. He got banged up. He's had some injury problems for a while, But I think Carmelo Anthony is as good of a scorer as you could find in the league.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, LeBron. I mean, Dwayne Wade. You put him. He's in that mix where when he could take over a game. And I think that when you look at the fourth quarter, he's got to be the guy completely. I mean, I don't care. I love Stoudemire. But the fourth quarter's got to belong to Carmelo Anthony to me, and I think that so many NBA games come down to fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You have a guy like him, you got to win and lose with him. It shouldn't even be dilly-dallying around. That's my opinion. He's so
nasty.
good.
He's nasty.
He's so good. I mean, he's such a good scorer.
I think Stoudemire's nasty too.
I agree with you.
I think it's. I wouldn't.
Either
one of those two taking the last shot. We'll put it this way: with the ball in either one of those hands, with 30 seconds left, 15 seconds left down to.
Let me ask you this: if they're 500 late in the season, how much are people going to hate D'Antoni?
He would be gone.
He'd be gone already. I honestly, I was going to have. He might be gone already by then. He might be gone. Yeah, they'd be hating him, man.
Yeah.
Number 3, I had this on my list. Oklahoma City Thunder, exciting team to watch. He says Durant taking the next step.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, they're the most exciting young team I can remember in a while. When you look at all the youth and all the talent they have, this athleticism, I became just, that's the one good thing about the NBA playoffs is you get to watch all these teams you might not watch a lot all the time because the playoffs last as long as the freaking regular season. But you get just engulfed in these storylines.
Yeah.
And so I was in love. And Tony's who's a Sonics fan, he's a big Oklahoma City Thunder fan.
Kemp.
And now you've seen obviously the YouTube clip of Kevin Durant playing touch football.
Yeah.
It just makes you love him that much more. I mean, he's one of the most lovable guys. He's the anti-LeBron James.
Right.
It really is. I mean, so to me, they are the team. I'm a Net fan, but they aren't going to win anything. They're the team I'm rooting for this year.
Right.
You got to love them, right?
To me, I'm a big fan of any of those small market teams that make the big jump. It doesn't matter what sport it was. I was rooting for the Pirates this year when they were on the street. Any small market team.
Yeah, Cleveland Indians when they were kind of good for a while. Yeah,
exactly. But they're always a team I'm rooting for.
Number 2, he's got superstars in the NBA seem to deliver more consistently on a game-to-game basis than any other sport. It's always fun to watch Kobe, Durant, LeBron, Griffin, etc. So I guess that's exciting. I guess he's right in that, we have a game of the week for an NBA game. It's very rare you're going to see LeBron go out and throw up a complete egg.
Right.
Whereas you could have game of the week for baseball and, Pujols can go over 4.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that whatever. But it's the one thing. I mean, I guess football players, they always tend to step up too. So I guess it's exciting. I mean, so he just is excited to watch superstar. He likes playing good guys play basketball.
Right.
Which is fun.
Yeah, which is cool.
And at number 1, he's got the Heat. Is this their year? My thing was just the Heat drama. Like, every 3-game losing streak, everybody's going to hate him.
Yep.
Every 3-game winning streak, everybody's going to say they're the best team ever. It's going to be, that's what's exciting about the NBA.
Talk about a coach who might not be there.
Oh my God, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. To me, that was my number 1. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was your number 1.
It was my number 2, and I just have everybody rooting against the Heat.
It's going to be against the Heat, but it's also just the whole. There's going to be everything we click on ESPN.com. There's going to be an article. They're the best team in the league.
Right.
What's wrong with them? Every ebbs and flows of the season. It's going to be like every game.
Right.
It's like a playoff game. It's not like a college football thing where every game means so much. So that's going to be exciting. Let's see some of the ones that.
I got mine. You want me to just read them off real quick? The ones I didn't have?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't want to hear mine, but go ahead. Whatever you want to do.
Because you didn't know. I got mine ready to go.
Go ahead.
I'm taking the show over.
That's it. The whole team's gone.
I just got real quick.
Moose and Mike T.
They're just cramming a lot of games into a tight schedule. How are the players going to respond? Are the Mavs going to repeat? I'm actually a Dallas Mavericks fan. If I had to root for a team besides the Knicks, number 4, I just have Blake Griffin. To me, he's the most exciting player now in the NBA to watch.
Yep.
Is he going to repeat highlight-wise and all that stuff?
I think he will.
And then the only other one I didn't have was my number 3, are the players supposedly talking, hey, why don't you come with us? They have all this time to talk, so now the players are kind of saying right now, hey, why don't you come here? Let's play here. Let's play there. To me, I think that's a little
Yeah, I don't like that either, but I think it's happening.
Right.
I agree with that.
They said it's happening.
Absolutely. The only ones I have, I agree with you on some. I said for the Mavs, I said the Mark Cuban Victory Tour. Mm-hmm. He's going to be around. I mean, he might be just wearing the fur coat around, just showing off. He's the best, man. The one I didn't. I mean, a couple of them they were the same, but I can't believe nobody's excited about Jimmer Mania. Are you excited to see what Jimmer Fredette's going to do?
He's going to be just like that dude.
Tim Tebow.
No, on the dude on the Magic now who's played for Redick.
JJ Redick. I think he's better than JJ Redick. No. But he's going to be a storyline because I'm curious to see how he's going to do. Yeah. But he's going to be like, Morrison and those guys. I agree, he might not be great.
Yeah.
But, it's always fun to see a guy who had a ridiculously good college career at a smaller place. How are they going to do? Good top 10. Keep them coming on the message board. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up with the 5 and 10 with the Tri-State Sports Guys.